everyone, and welcome back to the channel. In today's video I'm going to be discussing a bit of like a more niche topic, and that is the topic of like final exams. And like the two things I kind of want to like complain about are like the fact that I don't think that they are representative of someone's true like aptitude in an area. And the second thing is specifically to do with them being like pen and paper, depending on like the context, right? You'll know what I mean when I talk about it. So there's two things I want to discuss today specifically. So I'm just saying that because I want to kind of keep myself like accountable, like grounded, so that I don't go too off topic. I also have this mug here that I had. I drink green tea like quite a lot, so I have this mug just like around, and I thought it might be satisfying to just tap on it. So, with that being said, let me just put this. Actually, you know what? I'm just gonna hold on to it. I'm just gonna hold on to it because I can't bothered picking it up, putting it down, picking it up, putting it down. So, anyways, okay. First section. I mean, I'm not too sure what I'm actually gonna say about this like subcategory because it's pretty self-explanatory. Like, I don't think that they are representative of intelligence, like full stop. And to be honest, I don't think most people think, I would think that most people would agree with me, and I don't think that most people think that they are representative of intelligence. But it just sucks that that's like, it's just like a tool that we keep coming back to and keep using, even though I feel like everyone knows that it's not like representative. Maybe in like a math class, maybe. Like, I don't know. I don't really take like sophisticated math. When I was in high school, I took like the basic math, and I did very good. Like, not to like toot my own horn, but like I did good. So like, yeah, but like even with that, I can't say that, you know what I mean, it's a bit sticky with math. Maybe it is representative for math, I don't know. But I feel like for my class that I'm doing now, I'm doing a business degree and I'm doing human resource management, and it's like a lot of the ideas and concepts and like theories that need to be discussed, it's like you're marked on whether you know the buzzwords, essentially. Let's be honest, right? Like, and even in high school, I did a lot of like humanities, so it's all about buzzwords. Like, you know, it's like if they see that you're using the buzzwords in high school, if they see that you're using the buzzwords like from the syllabus, and you know your syllabus, well then you'll get good marks. But it's like, that's not fair, because just because someone can memorize the entire syllabus or can remember the specific buzzwords doesn't mean that they are some genius or some like, you know, like some mega mind compared to someone who, you know, might understand the whole like premise of it but just doesn't know the buzzwords. And so yeah, I don't know. And again, not to toot my own horn, but like during high school I was pretty good at remembering the buzzwords and you know, like knowing the syllabus and knowing what the right thing to say was. But like, I just got lucky lucky that I could remember that and that my brain naturally remembered that. But some people's brains don't work that way. And all it does, in my opinion, is, when I say all it does, I mean final exams, or just exams. All exams do is ostracize the people who might actually enjoy education if it wasn't a game of who can remember the most buzzwords, who can remember the syllabus, if that makes sense. Like, you know, I don't know, I can't think of it, because I find learning, like, fun. Like, not to be a nerd, but, like, I do find it fun. I like learning a lot of random things, and like, the topics that I like learning about always change. But I feel like when you have to take a class on it, or when you have to do an exam on it, you kind of lose all the, like, if you enjoyed it before, you lose it then. And I know that's not just because of exams, like, I'm not sure why, because it happens to me. Like, I'll go like, ooh, like, that topic sounds really cool, like, I think that's really interesting, and then I'll take it, and then I'll be like, oh, it's boring, I don't like, you know what I mean? But then, as soon as I finish that class, I will love it all over again. It's just like the minute you have to study it, it takes the enjoyment away. And that's not really the fault of school or, like, education, because that's just how it is. But when it comes to exams, I feel like that does take the fun away from it. And again, like, you know, knock on wood, like, that's like the one superstition I always follow. But, like, knock on wood, right? I'm relatively good at exams, and I have been for, like, not most of my life, not really, but, like, most of my high school life. Of course, I've had some exams that I've bombed. Like, yeah, I'm not, like, a genius, but, like, especially when I was in my final years of high school, I was very good at memorizing the syllabus buzzwords and, like, the structure that they wanted to see. So for me, it was like I knew what they wanted to see, so I just knew to replicate it. But some people's brains just don't work that way. And then for the HSC, or for your, like, for the final exams, sorry, I got lost, for the final exams that I had to do in high school, I'm just calling them, then we don't refer to it as final exams, but, like, that's what they'd be, kind of. It was, like, especially in English, you had to memorize, like, all these quotes, and in, like, any of the humanities classes, you always have to memorize all these quotes, all this evidence to, like, you know, write down in your essay. And it's like, you sit there and you really think, like, when am I ever in my life going to be sitting down at a table, just, like, writing like 3 essays by hand? Like, ever? When am I going to be doing that? Like, truly, like, and again, I'm not, like, there's some people who go, like, who will never see the point in school because they can't think about how it's practical, and, like, I kind of get it, but, like, it's just good to be, like, educated, I guess, regardless of whether it's practical. But I don't think it's practical. I don't think there is a point in sitting there for hours writing exams, like, essays by hand. Wait, I'm kind of going in circles. Writing essays by hand, it's not, like, indicative of being educated or well versed in a topic, and it's just kind of pointless and, like, almost unfair to the people whose brains don't work that way. Like, I don't know, I think it's just silly, personally, like, especially in this, like, era of modernization and like laptops, phones, digital media. Like, let's be honest, right? When was the last time you really wrote something with a hand? With like a pen in a hand and a paper? And again, in high school, I can understand writing the final exams with pen and paper because even though we had laptops, we were still expected to do a lot of work in our workbooks with pen and paper. But going on to my second topic, in university, I think it is incredibly dumb that there are some final exams that you have to do where you sit there for 2 hours and you have to write 3 essays, because it's like by hand. Because in university, at least in Australia, at least at this university I go to, every single thing is done online. Like literally everything. I don't go to an online university. The tutorials are in person, of course, but the actual like lectures, taking notes, the assessments, it's all typed up and handed in, or it's all like digital. So it really like boggles my brain that for like 14 weeks you are typing up your notes, you're typing up essays or reports or short answer thing, like anything, and you're handing it in as an assessment. And then you get to the end of the 14 weeks and then they're like, oh hey, like you're going to be really excited, but in a few weeks you're going to be writing 3 essays in 2 hours by hand. It's like, what? Like, if we needed that skill, like, I know that we're adults, and it's like, you need to take, accountability for your own, like, education. And so, like, if you know that you're gonna have to write by hand, then, like, practice yourself. Like, the responsibility is on us, but it's just like, it feels so irrelevant, or it feels so like out of left field. There's probably a better way to word that, but it's like when you go the whole semester doing digital work, and then all of a sudden you have to write like all this stuff by hand, and it annoys me because, again, like personally, I have my little journal that I write in, not often, like quite variably, and yeah, but when I'm coming up to a final exam, I will try to do it like every day, to practice, even if it's only like 2 pages, just to like practice with like pen and paper, because if I'm gonna be honest, if I didn't write in that journal, I would never use my hand to write anything. And like I said, in high school, yes, I did use my hand to write things because that was what was expected of us. But in university it is not, and it's just so easy to never use your hand to write. Like, I'm not sitting here advocating for like the removal of using your hand, if that makes sense. Like, I know that there is evidence, like I know that I've seen all like these scientific things that say that, I think they say that the like hand, the muscle to like brain, it's like the information, like I don't know, I can't think of the word, like it stores better in your brain, or it like transmits more to your brain when you're physically writing it out, which I know that, and when I write something out, I do remember it more than I would if I like typed it. Like, that is true. So I'm not sitting here advocating for like the removal of physical writing, because I'm not. I understand its importance and I understand its value, but I just feel like these final exams, like they're one, they're already like irrelevant, if that makes sense. Like, as I spent the first 10 minutes saying, they're already not indicative of intelligence, they're already not representative of your knowledge on the subject. So that's for starters. And then secondly, that's the word I wanted to use. Them expecting you to write it by hand feels arbitrary. Like, it's just weird. And yeah, so because I already have like that sour taste that like they're not representative, I then think, and then you're making us write it by hand, and it's like, there are so many people who might have so much to say and might be very well informed on a topic, but they are simply limited by how quickly they can write with their hand. And you could argue in the past that, well, like, writing with your hand is a good skill to have, and so they should be practicing it, which is fair enough, right? But now, like, it's useful, but as I've kind of touched on, if you are not in education, like, when are you using your hand to write things like long? Like, when are you sitting down and writing pages and pages and pages worth of stuff freehand? Like, let's be honest, you're not, unless you are. And if you are, please let me know, because I would like to know. But for me personally, and for most people I know, like, I just don't see it. Most people, and I wouldn't even say that people sit there typing anything either, but in education, if you're composing something, like in university, it is almost always online. When I say online, I mean like typed up, like on a device. So it just feels so arbitrary to me that after a semester of typing things up, they then suddenly expect you to just write. I don't know, maybe I'm being really dramatic. I think it's because I have that sour taste in my mouth about exams in the first place. Like why are they so overly used? And I get it, it's like maybe they just don't have a better alternative. But still. So like, what was I gonna say? Exams. Why are they used? Yeah, it's just that, like, why are they used? I really lost my train of thought. I did have one. Exam. Crap, I really just completely lost what I was gonna say. I'm just gonna tap on this while I'm thinking. That's it. I was just gonna say that it's a bit crap that some of them, a lot of them, make up, as again, in university. Let me just say, actually, when I'm talking, like when I'm going like, oh, a lot of them, this, like when I'm saying like things are the way they are, right? Please take that with the presumed knowledge or whatever, right? That, oh my god, why can't I form a single sentence? It's really annoying me. I was about to say something more colourful, but no, it's really annoying me. Normally I'm more like articulate than this, but I don't know why I can't form a sentence. I think I might be a bit tired, but yes, when I'm I'm saying, like, things are one way or not one way or whatever, take that with, like, the assumption, just assume that I'm saying that they are not that way for me personally, because obviously I'm not going to sit here and say that every single final exam in the world is done pen and paper, or even that like every single educational institution in the world does exams with pen and paper. Like, I'm not saying that, you know what I mean? But for me personally, like, these are my thoughts about my experience, and if anyone else has a similar experience, then yeah, like, those are my thoughts on it, if that makes sense. I'm sure it makes sense. But anyways, I might end this video here because I kind of wanted to make a shorter one today, because I mean, there's not so much you can really say about final exams. I'm sure I could rant and rant and rant, but I still have another final exam in 4 days, so you know, I need to kind of prepare for that. It's an online one and it's multiple, like, it's a good exam, and that's the point, right? This is an online exam, and I'm not that annoyed that I have to do it, because it's like, it's online. I did the rest of the stuff online, and it makes sense that this is also online. So yeah, like, I don't know, and it's not just like, yes, I'm lazy, but it's not just because I'm lazy, because I'm completely fine with doing all my assessments, and like, as nerdy as this is going to sound, like, I do them all, like, without ChatGPT and all that. Like, I do, like, go to the library, like, the online library, and, like, type up the, like, articles in the books and all that stuff. It drives me nuts. I'm not saying I enjoy it. It really drives me crazy, but I do it. And it's just final exams. They get me for some reason. They just annoy me. Like, it's like I put in so much work in the semester to do these assessments, and then I get to the end, and it's like, oh wow, like, now 50% of my grade is going to be determined by this one exam. You know, that's another thing. I won't go into it, but that is another thing. If it was an exam that made up like 10%, 20%, like whatever, right? But they always make up at least 40%. And I just think, like, why? Like, sorry. They just add so much stress to it just by the fact that they always make up so much of your grade, and then they feel so arbitrary, and it's just weird to think, like, why is this seemingly irrelevant exam making up so much of my grade? Something to think about. But anyways, thank you very much for watching, and let me just say, right, like, I'm still grateful to be doing, like, my university stuff, and it's not all horrible. It's just final exams. Like, let's be honest, right? Who likes final exams? I'm sure the people who even made the final exams don't like them themselves. But either way, right? It's just, why do we keep doing them? Because I feel like there's better ways, and I'd even find it less annoying if they made us go to the campus to do it there. But instead, like, we bring our laptops and they have people, like, walking around monitoring us, or if the university has some form of, like, computer lab or whatever, right? Or maybe they can give laptops or something that have like a locked down browser so that you can't access anything else, that would be fantastic, because then you're typing it and it'll be just like the assessments that you spent all your time on previously in that semester, instead of just coming here and doing some arbitrary exam with like an arbitrary like format, like skill, if that makes sense. Like, I don't know, because not all exams are horrible, but I don't know, I just feel like they're so arbitrary and they're not a good representation of someone's intelligence or knowledge or skill. But yeah, that's all for today. Yeah, that's all. I'll leave it here now. I'll leave it here now. So, I hope that you enjoyed the video, and I'm sorry if this one was a bit like crap. Maybe not crap, but I don't know, like unstructured. I don't know. You know what? Just take back what I said. I hope that you enjoyed the video. And also, thank you for the most recent subscriber milestone. I know it's only another like 100. That sounds very ungrateful. Like, you know what I mean? Like, I do it every 100 subscribers, and I know most people don't do it like that, but I still, like, I appreciate it. So yeah, thank you for watching, and thank you for subscribing, and thank you for liking, and thank you for commenting, and thank you for everything. Thank you for watching it. Like, honestly, thank you for watching it, and for dealing with my unstructured rambling and my ranting, and the fact that my videos are always like hours long when I never intend for them to be. So anyways, I will leave you here. I'll leave that there. I don't even know where I'm... Okay. Thank you, everyone, for watching, and I hope that you all enjoyed the video. Feel free to comment your thoughts and your opinions on this topic, because a bit of me is concerned that I'm just like a princess, you know, like, that I'm just, like, too babe, like, you know what I mean, like, I'm just a complainer. Well, to be honest, I am, not all the time, but I feel like I can be, but I'm just curious if you guys agree, or if you think I have a point, or, like, anything like that, or if you disagree, please let me know. Like, I would really like to know. So anyways, thank you all so much for watching today's video, and I hope that I see you all in the next one.